Well, much of the focus of Beaver Nation is on the Oregon State football team and its game coming up Saturday night against Arizona State. Sports fans in the Northwest are well aware that the Trailblazers tip off the regular season tomorrow night at home against the Lakers. And to get a preview of the Blazers in the NBA season, it's my pleasure to welcome in studio the Blazers TV broadcasters Mike Barrett and Mike Rice. Also, Blazer dancer Liesl is here with us. Liesl, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
She goes everywhere we go.
Well, that's not bad duty you guys got. I'll just say that right out of the chute. And welcome to the new studio. What do you think?
It's beautiful. It's fantastic. It still smells new. I like that.
Yeah, it does.
Although,
I haven't been in here long enough. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
although the old days, the KEX, I can remember in the early 90s when that was pretty nice to go to.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a lot of memories, and KEX, KPOJ, we're all one happy family here, and the Beavers and the Blazers, we're so glad to have both franchises back. Yeah. Before we talk a little NBA and the Lakers and all that, I want to ask you both, all of you actually,
Who should be the quarterback?
Yeah, well, we've determined who that is, but let's start with that, Mike Rice. Who do you think, Sean Mannion or Cody Vass?
You know, I said before halftime of the last ball game, they've got to switch now because, he's been real good, but, when you come back from an injury like that, you get one half and then make the switch, and they did, and it just came a little late.
It was fourth quarter instead of third quarter.
It wasn't it was as easy as he wasn't effective. Once you throw 4 picks, you don't want to throw downfield anymore, and you can't have that. And he was kind of, you could tell he was a little bit of a mess mentally, and that's fine.
And Mike Barrett, you are an Oregon State alum. We need to point out. So
I was down at the Washington State
interest.
game, and so I don't think I'll get to many more because we hit the road on Thursday. But Cody Vass was so impressive at BYU. He throws such a great ball, such an effortless ball. Hoping he gets it done, and hoping. The thing about the Washington game when it got over, the thing we said is that can accept it. Don't let that beat you twice now. Go take care of business, and you have just one road game left.
And what do you think about the Beavers' season? I mean, it started out 6-0, and I'll start with you, Mike Barrett. Starting out 6-0, they're 6-1 now. They're still very much in the thick of they determine their own destiny, really.
And I think at times, I don't want to put too much importance on the first game of the season, but if you lose that game to Wisconsin, which the onside kick and all the controversy there, if you drop that game, you want to go back and say where would they be if, but they get that game, and all of a sudden you get everybody buying into the system, and I think it just proves once again what a great coach, what a great motivator, great leader Mike Riley is, and I love the fact that success happens to good guys, good people, and I think he's the biggest reason why. But it's exciting because they're young too.
It's almost like the Blazer season. You're not quite sure. Oregon State started. What do they have? Are they going to be winners? And it's the Blazers, same thing. What do they have? They have a new coach. We hope they play as well as the Beavers have played.
A little confidence goes a long way. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Liesl, are you a football fan, or is it basketball? Oh, you are? Okay.
Of
are you following the Beavers, the Ducks, the Pac-12, and all that?
I am. I have a divided family, so I have to be careful with who I like.
Oh, which division? Is it Oregon and Oregon State, or is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
My
you have to be very
divided,
careful?
So I have to be careful.
Okay, very good. All right. You're not the tiebreaker then in the family, is it? You can't go there.
I try, but.
All right, very good. Well, let's talk very quickly about tomorrow night. It all opens up the Blazers and the Lakers. Halloween night. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, Lakers in town, Kobe, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, a new Laker team that we don't know that much about. Kobe's 85% of whether or not he's playing tonight. I'm sure he is. But it'll be interesting to see where his foot is at when he comes to town tomorrow night. That's the one good thing is we get him on the second of a back-to-back, which will be nice. But, as Mike said, given our schedule right after this, we leave Thursday on a 3-game road trip. It is, Oklahoma City, Houston, Dallas. Vital you get the Laker game tomorrow night to get you off to a good start. Get that first win, and as we talked about, get some confidence.
And a lot of our young guys, they're not quite sure. I tell them it's the Lakers, but it doesn't mean anything when the Lakers come to Portland because Portland has dominated them in the past years. We don't really need a red out, but we're going to have a red out. Even Mike and I are going to wear. Oh, well, I won't say what we're going to wear.
We're going to be in red.
Red tuxedos?
No,
we
not
tuxedos.
tuxedos.
We couldn't find a red tuxedo.
No, the same. Stylish.
No, wouldn't do that.
All right. Wins and losses mean literally nothing in the preseason. Lakers don't win a game in the preseason. It doesn't matter a bit, does it?
No, but I think it's an example of, they've got to get on the same page at some point, and you have 3 future Hall of Famers on the same team. It's going to take them some time. I'm curious to see how much time it'll take them to where they get on the same page. But But no, preseason means nothing.
The Blazers, what can we expect, Mike Rice? I mean, the young guys, I got to tell you, I'm absolutely thrilled with Damian Lillard. He looks like the real deal.
Yeah. If you look at what the Blazers for the whole season, the starters are strong. If we had a bench that even came close to our starters, we would be a definite playoff team. But as it is, there's a lot of question marks in that second unit. And who's going to step up and help that second unit? Myers Leonard, the youngster, is 21 years old? 20 years old. These are guys that have to really step up for the Blazers. If they get an injury, who knows what's going to happen. But right now, they're somewhere between 32 and 40 wins probably. If they overachieve like the Beavers, it's a playoff team.
Mm-hmm. The Blazers are in a period of transition, simply. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge is a constant, an all-star. He's surrounded, though, by a lot of new players, a new coaching staff, a new front office, a new president introduced today in Chris McGowan. I mean, it's a whole new deal. How is he handling it and the organization? It's a little bit different.
Amazing summer of transformation for the team, isn't it? I mean, it's odd when I was kind of writing down some stuff for tomorrow night's game, and like you said, Chris McGowan introduced today as the president, a new coach, a new GM. But they have flexibility going forward, and that's what Neil O'Shea wants. That's why they decline the options on Luke Babbitt, on Nolan Smith, on Elliott Williams to give them cap room next summer. And as it stands right now, they'll be somewhere between 13 and 14 million in cap room next summer. So that's the plan. I mean, something that's sustainable long term. Probably trade deadline will not be as active this year as they were last year in order to preserve their flexibility come the summer. So, there's some good things here, and it's a young team. It's remarkable to go from where they were and having the injuries that have happened to get it turned around this quickly with guaranteed contracts in the NBA. It often takes 2 years of dismantling. It happened pretty quickly, so that was one of the positives. But to get the young talent that they have and the flexibility, it's a good thing.
And Mike Rice, you're the Swami. What NBA teams are the ones we got to look for this year?
Well, I think even with the trade of Harden, that Oklahoma City still is the favorite. The Lakers, I think, will get going in January. It's going to take time for this group to mesh, so they're probably close. Denver is going to be the surprise team along with the Clippers. Clippers have a lot of big names. Denver, I really think, is going to be the surprise team of all. I think they'll beat out the Lakers for second place in the West. And then, of course, Memphis with Zach Randolph, they're going to be pretty good. The 7th and 8th spot, there's going to be 7 or 8 teams going for that last 2 spots, and I think the Blazers will be one of them.
And lastly, I want to go around the table here and ask you all, opening night, all eyes are going to be on you, whether it's your first TV broadcast in Mike's situation, or Liesl as the dancers go out and do opening night performance. Are there butterflies? Are there first game jitters on opening night? Mike, you've been around a long time. Both of you Mikes have been around a long time.
Not really. I mean, it's more of a concern for having everything done preparation-wise, and we're both, and I know Coach Rice is certainly a stickler when it comes to preparation. So if you have all of that done, and my relationship with him, and as long as we've done this, we lean on each other, and I think that takes care of any. If I were with somebody or with somebody new or something, I could see getting some of that because you don't know how it's going to work out. But all else fails, we just start chatting, and that takes care of a TV broadcast.
I'm more worried about what kind of tie I have with that red coat. I don't have anything that goes with red, so I'm more worried about that than the game.
I actually am too, now that you mention it. I have butterflies now, Scott. Thanks.
Okay, so
I was doing okay.
Glad I could help. And Liesl, how about you?
Oh yeah, I've been dancing for a while now, and still every opening night I get butterflies. I get goosebumps. That opening night video that goes on, it's crazy. The fans are insane. They're never the same. There's still that exhilarating energy that you go out there, and I still get goosebumps.
Especially when the Lakers are in town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It takes the arena to a whole other level.
It does.
And when you get to be down there for all of it, it's just intense. It's so fun.
It is fun. It's going to be a fun
I feel
night.
like eating popcorn right now. I'm in the mood.
Okay, very good. All right, Liesl, thanks for coming in. Mike Barrett, Mike Rice, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Great to have KEX back and KPOJ, all you guys do on your stations, your family of stations, and great to be around you again.
I'm thrilled to be back involved doing the pregame show, serving as a studio host.
Because you and I sat by each other back in the early 90s a lot of nights,
Yeah.
and just to have that back and the familiarity is fantastic.